helping my family, and helping the 100 people now in our team who are using LifeWave daily and their families. Big thank you. Love the products.
And I have energy through the roof.
I sleep better. I have so much more energy.
Throughout the day, I can focus better. I can concentrate in my work.
Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, "You can now be seated." It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really amazing.
I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Good evening, everybody. We are recording. We are on Facebook Live. Welcome to our Monday evening community call. I'm your co-host, Robin, along with Gregory. Sanchari, you want to put your camera off until we introduce you? Thank you. And this evening, well, we get together every Monday night as a community to share resources and updates, and there's so many things going on with LifeWave, and do some training typically, but tonight is a special night because we just got to be at Nova on Saturday. Did you want to say something, Gregory?
Well, I'm just here listening along. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So what we're going to do tonight is a little bit different than our typical call because Nova was on Saturday. So we've invited several of our brand partners to share a little bit about their highlights of Nova. But before we get started, I want to honor this very special day. And you want to bring up the, oh, there you go. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and we're honoring a very special man. And, you know, this morning I was reading something about him. I was tuning into him, and I read something, and it just really deeply touched me. And so I shared one of his quotes. "I dream of great possibilities for all." And as I'm sharing what I'm going to read, I just invite you to think about the privilege we have with the lifestyle we have in our profession and see how closely that kind of relates. Martin Luther King was all about holding the highest vision for all of the human family, and that we are all equal. He held a dream in his heart for all people, no matter their race, background, status, or differences, to live equally and be equally deserving of respect and just treatment. And, you know, when I think about Martin Luther King, you know, he had a dream that his children would be living in a world where everyone was treated equally with respect. And, you know, I'm just so honored and touched that we take this time as a country to honor this great man who gave his life for his beliefs and showed up. And I was having so much fun going through so many of his quotes today, which I love to do. You know, I'll put in Martin Luther King quotes, and then I'll go to images. And this is the one I wanted to share tonight, is everybody can be great because anybody can serve. And so as I think about Martin Luther King, and I think about the opportunity that we have, because that's the business we're in the business of caring and sharing and serving people. And that creates an opportunity for anybody to be great. And we have a business and a profession that doesn't matter what your background is. If you went to school, if you didn't go to school, you know, if you have money, if you don't have money, it doesn't matter what your profession is, what your background is, where you were born, raised, what part of the world you're from, what language you speak. we have an equal playing ground for everyone to have an opportunity that can completely change their life and the lives of many others in their health and in their wealth. So I just invite everyone to just ponder a little bit about this great man as we are honoring his day today. And Gregory, do you want to say anything before we jump into the call?
Yeah, I just want to say, I was just thinking if Martin Luther King was still around, I bet he'd be in network marketing. Because this is the essence of equal opportunity. We're all people, again, regardless of race, background, status, difference, education, all the things you said. It's no respecter of persons, it's the respecter of achievement. It's the respecter, the determined are the ones that get there. And I know that coming off Nova, we're all inspired and inspired, if you will. And hopefully everyone's got a vision of where you want to be a year from now. Let 2023 be your year to be cut free. And I know that's what the vision that Robin and I hold for all of you. And just so excited to be on this path together with you.
Thank you, Gregory. So I want to start out our call this evening with a very special brand partner that we don't hear from a lot, but the whole world got to see her the other day, and we are very proud of her and her leadership in Canada. And anyone in Canada knows her because she's been hosting a lot of the calls in Canada. And she's a beloved brand partner. She lives up in, I think it's Alberta, and I'm pretty sure, but she'll correct me for sure. But she is a great leader. And when she was speaking, I was like in tears of being proud. And so Canada, as we all know, has been through a really, really rough time. And she's, taken on this leadership role to support, Canadians all across the country and all the different provinces. And I'm so proud to bring on Robin Hoffman, who's one of our directors, and she's going to share a few of her highlights from Nova before she's got to get on another call. So Robin, you want to bring on your camera and unmute your line, please?
Sure. Give me just a moment. Thank you so much. There we go. My camera has been a little bit off lately, so hopefully we'll be good tonight. Thank you so much, Robin, for that introduction. And it's a real pleasure to be on tonight and to be able to, share a little bit of the highlights. I guess that's what we're supposed to do tonight, is share some of the highlights of what we took away. There was so much, I don't even know where to start. So, but I will just focus on what one individual talked about, and that was Dr. Edward Chu. He's the Vice President of LifeWave Asia. And LifeWave's focus, of course, was for Nova was heart to heart. LifeWave wanted us to have representatives from many different countries say a little something at Nova. And it was a real surprise and an honor to be able to represent Canada. And I believe that those who were chosen to share at Nova had been applying the heart to heart, as well as what Dr. Chu had been mentioning. Some of the things that I'll just bring up were the strategic pillars of success, which stood out for me. The heart to heart power for that really stood out for me because I had been living it really with working with the Canadian market. The first one was commitment to a greater cause. And I first off, I was very impressed with what David Schmidt has been doing, his heart to help the greater cause, but also, just living it in my own life with the challenges when Canada began in Canada. I looked for a way, like I mentioned, to help my downline and support them through the challenges. And LifeWave kind of joined arms with me, so to speak, and they were looking for creativity. They were looking for somebody to help initiate something in the Canadian market. So we started working together and collaborating, and that in turn had that effect of commitment to the greater cause of the entire Canadian market. And so that was really a powerful time for me. I loved it. It was something that I found, when you do that, it really fills you up in your heart. and it makes you feel good to be able to give back to others. And that ties back to the quote that Claudia Hernick, I think that's how you say her name, Hernick, is she's in Europe, right? And she shared in the Heart to Heart community, and she said, when somebody shares, everybody wins. That's a quote by Jim Rohn, and that stood out for me. I almost cried when I saw that, because it tied into what I was doing, and that's the key, I think, is to live for successfully, is to give and share. And we give this technology, we give our culture, we give our hearts. I like to lead with my heart when I do this business. That's what we do. That brings us success. It's brought me success. Claudia also said, it makes a difference as well to motivate yourself and others. And that's what I wanted to do with the Canadian team as well, cross team and my own team. The second thing that Dr. Chu talked about was communicate in the moments that matter. That was a moment that mattered, meeting people where they were and helping them to go through what they're going through, walking the walk with them. And that could be in anything that comes up, hurricanes, floods, things that we see happening around us, tornadoes and those kind of things. I encourage you to keep reaching out to people to show that you care in crises. There's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff nowadays. And then measure, optimize, grow was his third one. That was part of what Aruba trip was about, the incentive trip for those of us that are in North America, and optimizing our activities and our growth in working towards that incentive. So I think it's important to measure and track our growth, right? And then the last thing was the continuous learning and development. That's called sharpening your axe, right? And keeping your axe sharp. And I've practiced that for a long, long time. And I believe that actually prepared me for what happened in the Canadian market, to be able to pivot and to be able to use some of the training and the learning that I've developed over the years, and even recently, to be able to apply that to help the Canadian market go forward. I was very grateful to be able to do so, to help others. So thank you for this opportunity to share those 4 points that really stood out for me. So thank you.
Thank you, Robin. It was so wonderful seeing you on the screen, because this business is about belief, and it's been challenging, extra challenging for you guys up in Canada. And I have a warm spot in my heart for Canada, and I just I've been working with you and other Canadian leaders, and you guys have been amazing from the very first phone call that we made to you about what was about to happen. And the leadership that you guys showed was so beautiful, taking responsibility. What do I have control of? What can I do instead of what can't I do? And just, putting a plan together. So thank you, Robin, for all your leadership and all that you do for so many. And it is from the heart for sure. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move down to Florida from Canada.
No, we're not. We're going to call it audible. We're going to go up to the Arizona, or down to Arizona, because I want to bring Sun Shower on, because it's
that makes sense.
Sun Shower and Robin came up with one of the same highlights. And this morning, Sun Shower, on our Monday morning call, you shared such a beautiful image you came up with, that I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let you talk a little bit about it and how that moved you and anything else you'd like to share. So here we go. The 4 pillars with Heart to Heart in the center from our divine artist, Sun Shower Rose.
Isn't it amazing how Robin and I are on the very same page, literally?
Yeah, totally.
I just enjoyed Dr. Edward Chu so much, Vice President of Asia Pacific, when we were in Orlando at the conference. I just wished I could have run up and hugged him. He was very funny, but he was, sincere. And that's what we all want to be, is we need to just let our personalities shine. And he sure did. I just loved him so much. And so, he had come up with what Robin mentioned already. I even kind of have the way it was presented in Nova was this way. And I go, but where's the pillars? And where's the heart to heart part? So I played with the image, and here it is. So I could make comments just about each of the 4 if we have time.
Yeah, we do. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to I'll be as brief as I can, but, commitment to a greater cause. what greater cause do we have other than what David Schmidt has laid out for us, helping people with their health through light and helping people to become wealthy by helping others help themselves through light. And how about communicating in the moments that matter? Well, I suggest that we command ourselves to learn to listen to others. So when you do that, even if a person has an objection, there's actually a question that is centered around their words. And so I often bring back to the person what they've just said, maybe in a different form. And I often use, and this is really a good thing to know about, is the pregnant pause. So if somebody says something that's like objecting to what you're offering, it's like, just do that. And then maybe continue before you just start blabbing away. All right, so measure, optimize, and grow. Well, we have to keep track of what we're doing and be open to growing. It's the only way that we can optimize the use of our time. And on to continuous learning and development. Well, where did we hear recently? LifeWave is a self-development program with a compensation plan. Ms. Blank Mascari. So the suggestion is to listen to or read something daily that elevates your mind at least 10 minutes daily. One of my very favorites is Jim Rohn, and he goes, here's a great quote. It's not about the wind. The wind goes on us all. It's about the set of your sail. And I would ask you, how is your sail set to do your LifeWave business in 2023?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I love that, I didn't have people tell me specifically what they were going to share. I knew a few of you. So I love it. And that piece of art is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And isn't it wonderful that our theme for the whole year is heart to heart? And for our whole lives, really, because, David talks about that all the time. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Sunshower. So now we're going to move from Arizona to Florida, to someone that I don't think many of you know, but I'm getting to know this amazing woman. Her name is Jill Buzan, and she's down in Florida, and she's got quite a team down there, and I've invited her to share some highlights for her. So Jill, you want to put your camera on, and there you are. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So, Live Younger community, meet Jill. You're going to see more and more of her over time.
Nice to meet everybody.
Yes, it's great to have you.
I was just going to come on the call, and now I'm speaking on the call.
There you go. Well, we just want a few minutes of some of your highlights, my dear.
Okay. Well, my very favorite part of the call was David's review of all the patches and the protocols. And I just thought it was so amazing the way it was put together with, for the different issues. How would you help someone with blank? Why would somebody have that issue? What are some solutions to that issue? And his recommendations that included patches, supplements, and practical things they could do or lifestyle changes. So I took notes, and I'm actually really excited about, putting all my notes together. I have really been predominantly and focused on X39 I've been in the company for almost 3.5 years. And I really haven't studied the other patches a whole lot, but I do use some of the other patches. I've listened to some of the other trainings on the other patches, but it can be overwhelming. So to have the information that he gave, and I love bullet points, to have those bullet points, and I took little screen shares of those pages, was just so extremely helpful. And I'm super excited. I learned things I didn't know. And he's, for me, it simplified the use of the other patches. So I'm super excited about that. I also love that, you know, as we all know, you know, whenever David discusses health and wellness, he always talks about nutrition and supplements and other things people can do. And but to have this information now kind of laid out in such a simplified way, it's just really exciting to me that I can now take that information and go out and use it. I actually work, I have another business. I actually work in the natural products industry. I've been a sales rep for 27 years, representing different brands in the state of Florida. And so I already have taken this to one of my buyers and said, you know, who actually is a distributor for LifeWave. She hasn't really embraced it yet. And I saw a way that I can bring her two businesses together with this information that he gave us the other day. And so that was pretty much what I wanted to share. That's what I was excited about. And I really recommend that if you didn't see Nova, you at least watch that part and take that information in. And I think
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And like I said, it can be overwhelming. I do want to share one other thing, and this is just about, you know, I tell everyone, do X39. If not for, you know, if not for at least 90 days without any of the other patches, at least 30 days. I mean, I did X39 for 90 days, and I would not be able to share what I share, you know, and just say this was only X39 if I had mixed. However, I have also lost, I've lost people who, especially with pain, who did not get the pain result right away. And if I had given them a more comprehensive recommendation using some of the other patches, I probably wouldn't have lost them, because down the line, I gave them the other patches and they helped with their pain. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And we're going to be addressing that at the end of the call, Jill, is the X39 focus. It is the star of the show, and the way David, and I don't want to steal Gregory's talk away, but we are going to talk about that. But that piece was loaded with resources. I think we all want a notebook with everything in there. And I ordered more NAC. I have some. I ordered more. So, you know, I think it's just amazing to be a student of David Schmidt's as far as understanding how to maximize this body. Honey, what would you like to say?
I'd like to say, Jill, just like you, Robin did nothing else for the first 90 days, had such amazing results with X39. She's been my story ever since. And so many others people's story ever since. So I'm glad you brought that up. But, you know, there are extenuating circumstances. Someone's dealing with pain and one X39 doesn't do it. Add another one, add an Eon, you know, and David talked about that. There's a progression you can follow, because we want people to get the results that they need and want, especially if they're in pain. So thanks for sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on the call.
It's wonderful to have you. I look forward to a lot more, Jill. Thank you so much for being with us tonight at the last minute. It was the last minute, and she just said yes, and yay, Jill. All right. So let's go back to Arizona from Florida. And Sunwolf, you had a different perspective when I talked to you today that I loved your sharing, because it was, you know, we truly are an international company. So why don't you share some of your highlights, Sunwolf?
Wow. Well, thank you. Great to be here. First of all, how rare was this for me to feel like I was actually in Asia, to get a sense of their culture. In fact, when the gentleman said, luck, well, it's a whole nother part of their culture, how they embody heart, how they embody caring. I've never experienced this before, to really get close and personal with all these other leaders, in Europe and Asia. And what I so much liked about them is their intuitiveness, the young 27-year-old, what he did with the business, the testimonies, most of them from out of this country, the one that didn't have to have a pacemaker operation. It was quite remarkable, all the stories from these different countries. So I was very impressed, and it was very refreshing for me because it's really different, I mean, and here's the thing that really blew me away is the corporate, LifeWave corporate, their backgrounds, their leadership, experience in other network marketing companies. So it gives a feeling of so much more confidence, how they really got their act together. These top people that truly care. And it's funny, Martin Luther King's, celebration. And here we are, heart to heart. We're talking about the heart to heart. And another lady that blew me away, who would ever think Vice President of Europe, Claudia, talking the way she was sharing.
I know.
I mean, where do you see this in a company? The way they come right from the heart. It's like you got to share with the heart. And then Mauricio from Italy, hands on the heart, breathe. How often do you experience that? In a company. So we are so blessed. And of course, David, I've never seen him do a presentation like this. Oh my God, I've never seen this. Where everything you wanted to know about health, but were afraid to ask. How we integrated the nutritional component, how to build muscle, different nutrients. Where do you have another company that does that? I like the way, X39 was in all the other solutions, when it came to heart, muscle, brain, everything. So we really distilled it down and I went, wow, it was amazing. It was really absolutely amazing. So I'm going to watch it again. And of course, I want to just commend Sunshower. I love the 4 pillars. And Robin, her sharing, I was very moved in how she stepped up and she really postured herself so well and how she made a difference when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and of course, Jill, I met Jill at an event. We became great friends. So Jill, welcome to the family. It's great to see you. So there you have it. I mean, this was a very unusual, very refreshing, very impactful, inspiring event.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. And, we're an international company, and I think they did a really fabulous job of representing the world. And it's so great for us to really be exposed to people from other cultures. And we hear the stories, you were telling me today, Sunwolf, about those, those international testimonials were amazing. And so, you have to sit a little and pay really close attention sometime with the translator, but there was some great content. And I'll tell you, I had the same experience with Claudia from Germany, because, she did an amazing job. And I wrote her an email last night thanking her, and we've been emailing back and forth because I was deeply touched by her presentation, deeply touched. And I do want to read a few things from the chat before we get to our last speaker. Dr. Sarah said, it was an astoundingly loving presentation. What other CEO puts the welfare of clients before selling his own products? Mm-hmm. And Janet Hudson said, I also love that David talks about his faith and the importance of that in his life. What CEO, this is from Kame, what CEO opens a global seminar giving God the glory? I love this company. So it's just really touching the multiple perspectives we have, but under the context of heart to heart. And, David's very clear where he gets his information from, and he gives credit to source because that's where it's from. So blessed we are. So finally, we're going to get to Darlene in Colorado. We're going to jump up to Colorado now from Arizona. There you are.
Hi. I was just so impressed and honored that David did start the whole seminar by giving God the glory. That just doesn't happen with other companies. And that has helped me get several customers Because when I tell them that David gives all the glory to God for the patches and he gets downloads from them, they think, well, maybe I do need to pay attention to this. So I really enjoyed that part of it. And all of those protocols, that is just going to help us so immensely with our businesses. That's what we needed. And it's such, I'm so impressed that the theme was heart to heart, because that is what we all try to do. That's my passion, is helping as many people as I possibly can. But another portion that I really hit me was the relationship cycle that was talked about. Show sincere interest in the people. We've got to really pay attention to the people and care about their goals and passion and struggles. So many times when I run into people that are trying to sell me something, they're trying to just make their goals and stuff. They don't care about the people they're talking to. And you really do need to care about those people and make every interaction count. Make sure that that person knows that you're concerned about them, and they will come around to usually ordering from you. Value people over time and money. I'm doing this business to help people be healthy, not to grow my income, but my income grows because I really do care about those people, and connect their activities to their why. Why are they interested in talking to you? Make sure you keep their why important in your mind, because when they know you care, then they're going to be much more likely to do something with you. But the whole conference was just amazing. We had a watch party with several of my team, and we all loved it. It was just exciting, and it's so much more exciting when you can share it with somebody else. So maybe if you weren't able to do a watch party, get your people together and watch it. We've got it for 30 days. Let's use it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, because, sometimes we need a little reminder about that. Why are we doing this? It's for them. It's really what's in their best interest. And we always want people to get what's best for them. And I was, after Robin spoke and then Dr. Nicholas came on, I was in tears listening to Robin. Then Dr. Nicholas came on, told my story. But it was really true. I started as a customer and he just took care of me. It wasn't about me as a business builder. It wasn't about any of that. It was like, how can I help you? And he did a beautiful job, and he really does come from the heart, and he really does care. And so that shows in everything that we do. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. And I do want to share, Coach Clarissa said, I love that. It's not too late to spread kindness heart to heart. Listening is also a form of kindness. And that was talked about too, asking the questions and truly listening. So thank you, Darlene. Okay, I think it's time for you, Gregory.
All right. Well, gosh, tough act to follow, all these wonderful, inspired beings sharing the wonderful experience we all had. I'm going to share my screen just for a moment because I think it was interesting. God bless you, Sunshower Rose. You did a wonderful artistic rendering of the heart to heart. And Anne Moreau and her team did a little bit a different rendering, and I wanted to highlight that. Thanks, Anne Moreau, excuse me, for sharing this. Anne Moreau and their watch party team all put their hands together to form this beautiful heart and hands together, and it just exemplifies who we are. We are truly a heart-centered business, and we're all so blessed to be a part of it. It's an answer to a prayer for many or all of us. So I just wanted to mention Nova Replays, and Nova Replays are available if you were subscribed, and you can go to click on this link down below, the LifeWave 2023 brand, I hope I got it, .brand live. If you click on it, it's a hot link. You enter your first and last name and your email, and you get full access. We've taken another extra step as a Live Younger community. And thank you, Liz Hodges, working diligently behind the scene for 2 days on Sunday and Monday. If you go into the What's New section of Live Younger Success, you're going to find some of the Nova Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3, okay? And you can watch the whole thing there. You can also go to Live Younger Success in the library section. We've added that under the David Schmidt video section, okay? And gosh, I guess it belongs in Live Younger YouTube, so we put it in 3 different places, so it's easy for you to find. Anywhere you go, you're gonna find it. But what's coming soon, because I wanna share what was the most exciting thing for me at Nova. And the most exciting for me is being a marketing guy and kind of a strategic marketing guy. I was so excited to see David understands the importance of a single product focus in a multi-product company and building everything around X39. And when he came forward with those health questions, everything and everyone, it was X39 first. And then if that doesn't work, add this, add that. So what we're in the process of doing we are isolating those. Let's see if I can find it. Let me stop this share and share another one. I think everyone's really going to like this. We are, thanks to Liz, we're breaking off all of these sections, all of these wonderful questions that David then spent 2, 3, 4 minutes on each, identifying, and we're going to have them all isolated. So if you got someone that would like to know how we can help them with their arthritis, they'd click there. How would you help someone with a chronic wound? With all these benefits, when might we have other life products and why? And how would you help someone who's aging? And there was about, 12 or 15 of these questions, so brilliantly done. But as someone said, it wasn't just about selling patches. It was about people's health and wellness, because in addition to the patches, then he went on to say, you might need, acetylcarnosine, right? And whatever it is, N-acetylcarnosine, nitric acetylcarnosine. I'm going to get myself in real deeply here. All the other things that might help particular symptoms of aging. We're not in the healing and curing, and we're going to put a disclaimer in each of these sections, but very soon you can look forward to these things starting to pop up. We'll keep you posted where they are, but they will be probably in all of these sections in the Live Younger Success What's New section for a time being, but then they'll be in the library section where you click on David Schmidt videos, and there's going to be David Schmidt training videos, and there's going to be David Schmidt health questions, and all of these 12 or 15 separate videos. So Robin, I'm so excited about that. And I heard several people also say that was a highlight for them. And again, the fact that David built everything around X39. It's the hub in the center of the wheel. As it was for you, it was for Jill, and just so many other people got fabulous results with only X39. But as Jill mentioned, sometimes if it's only X39, they're not going to get the relief they need, where if you add an Eon or a glutathione or an IceWave, game over. So that was the thing that was most exciting to me, honey.
Oh, I love it. And if you look at the chat, everyone loves this. They're excited about this because, we were frantically taking notes and screenshots, and it's like, okay, how do we make this easily available? Someone who was here said, we should have a notebook with all these things in it, and just as a quick reference, because, the combination of living in the question and then looking at, what lifestyle things caused it, what lifestyle things could make it better, and then which patches help, and then what supplements help. I mean, it's amazing to get to learn from David and have it easily accessible. So
Totally
everyone's thrilled with that resource. And I know Liz is working very busy behind the scenes getting this, to a place where it's just easy for everyone to access this great information. And as we know, X39 is the star of the show. And the vast majority of people should start with just that. But like we've said, if someone's not sleeping, their bodies can't be regenerating, because that's when we regenerate. So we want to, if they're in pain or they're not sleeping, or, a chronic illness, a serious illness, a procedure, an accident, we want to help the people. We want to do what's best for them. But for the vast majority of people, it is X39 because it's so comprehensive. Okay, should we go back and finish up the newsletter, honey?
Yeah, the next
Got
thing.
a few
that we
more
have
quick
to share-
things to talk about.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
You want to do this or you want me to?
No, you go for it.
Well, interesting that there is a product special, and interesting that David's LifeWave Connect this week is on X39 and Eon. And so before X39 came out, Eon was the star of the show. And I think everyone knows that all of our patches do way more than we talk about. We just talk about what we have clinical proof for. But when we hear the stories, we know it does a whole lot more. So he's going to be addressing inflammation. And until the 20th, this bundle of X39 and Eon is 20% off. So it's a good time to take advantage of stocking up on those two together. That's the 1-2 punch. Makes it really simple. I dropped off some patches today to be delivered to a friend who's in India right now. Another friend is going there, and he had a toothache, and I just put an Eon right on his face. And gave him a few more for the plane ride. And it's simpler than IceWave, although if people have pain, I have more IceWave during the day and Eon at night so they can sleep. So that's what's going on. David,
I do want to point out that
Yeah.
the special ends on Friday, the 20th. Yeah, this special doesn't go through the weekend to the end of the week. So please make a note of that. This is 20% off on the Eon and X39 bundle until Friday. So you got 4 more days of that. Yep.
And if we're really nice, maybe Liz will get that a YouTube for us quickly so we can share it, because you can share it with your customers of David talking about X39 and Eon, and share and let them know about the bundle promotion too. So it's great timing to load up. Okay, what's next, honey?
Okay, well, the next couple of things are we've discussed on previous calls. The Power of the Patch webinars are continuing, so please continue plugging in. We've got the updated Live Younger 2023 webinar schedule, and we separated it into 3 columns. So the Power of the Patch is here optional. These are really for guests, and we've got the product-oriented, webinars and the business-oriented. You can just click to download that. I suggest everyone download that and have it close to your workspace. And then it's the spin, Robin.
It's time for the spin. Okay. So I think you guys are catching on. We have X39 sleeves to give away to the winner of the spin every week for the next several months. So if you put a story on Vibrant Living Facebook group, and please make sure you watch the introductory video. It's only 3 minutes to understand this is a new concept in social media where we don't mention the company or the patches, but we have literally hundreds of stories in the guides there. So you sharing your story is what really connects with people, because that's how people, make a decision, is on an emotional level. So the people this week that put stories in Vibrant Living, one of you will win a sleeve of X39. And unfortunately, you can't hear it. I can, but you can't, because I don't know why the noise doesn't translate, but you can watch it. So I'll hear it, and we will do the spin, and I'll try to hold it up really close. And the winner is, it is Victoria Reed. I love it. And Victoria, I have your address, so I will get that sleeve off to you. Victoria is also one of our admins, and she spends in selfless service to support this community so many wonderful things, and you can see her posts and her creativity on that Facebook page, and we are so grateful for all that you do, Victoria. I'm so glad you won. I'm glad everybody wins. So it will be on its way to you tomorrow. Okay.
So a few more things to mention. Monday morning chat, you missed a really good one this morning. It's available on replay. And mark your calendars. We do send out a reminder, and down here at the bottom, text message reminder surface. If you haven't done that, please invite yourself to hear that. The text message reminders will go out on a regular basis. And then tomorrow night, we have Dr. Stuart Friedenfield, a medical doctor, is going to be our doctor on our health practitioner call. And Robin, I understand from the other Robin, from Robin Hoffman, that these have been, or someone told me that these have been put on pause at Canadian webinars. Is that true?
I don't know. Robin?
Okay.
Oh, she's gone. She had to go to her other call. Well, you know what? We'll find out, and we'll put a post in the Facebook group. I'll send a message to Garrett. For those of you that did not attend NOVA and haven't listened to the replays yet, we do have great news for Canadians. They're getting several products early to mid-April. So X39 and 49, SP6. Do you remember what else? Silent Night. I think there were 5, but very exciting. And the company has been above and beyond supportive for our precious Canadian members, and helping them get through this difficult time. And I think everybody realizes what a very special company this is. So we're excited to have Canadians building again. And tomorrow we're having a Canadian leaders call. If you have anyone that should be on that, we're starting to do planning for the future and checking in with everyone. So please reach out to me, and so I can invite you to the call if you haven't been invited yet. Robin Hoffman is our major Canadian leader, and she did such a fabulous job of instilling belief. I think it was beautiful. Any other final comments, honey?
Just gratitude, for all we've been given. We're in such a blessed place to start this new year, and to help people enhance and extend life.
I love it. Oh, thank you, Ravel. God bless you, Ravel. She's got the details. This woman is amazing. Another one of our Canadian leaders, Ian, of course. Ian is like, I don't know. We run out of Ian before anything else. I don't understand, but we use it a lot. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Thank you all that participated and shared your highlights of NOVA. And please do, get back and check in and listen to those replays, take notes, share. We do have them available on YouTube, so you can share, but go back and listen and enjoy. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.